Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, where it's all about creating the life you want, the business you want, and making a real difference. Join us in unlocking the code to true success. And now your host, Tony Caliendo, Master Coach with Rethink Coaching.
Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast. I'm Tony Caliendo, Executive Coach here at Rethink Coaching. And as always, I want to welcome you and thank you for sharing your time. Time truly is our greatest asset. And the fact that you're willing to share your time with me does not go unnoticed. I'm really excited to talk to you today about the topic at hand in this episode because it's really one of my favorite seasons to be in. And I want you to sit back and really think about your life, your business, and nature, and how things happen in perfect timing. And I do not think that it is by any luck or coincidence that we operate in sync with nature. I'm talking about spring. Spring for me is always this season of renewal, faith, and growth. It is seeing the results of what happened in the previous season come to life. I think about this, right? I think about the beautiful flowers that we see, or the gardens that we see, or the trees that are coming into full bloom. That didn't just happen by accident or by coincidence. We had to go through a season of winter, a season of hibernation for much of the beauty that we're going to experience in nature to witness, see, and experience. I think it's very similar to our business, that our businesses sometimes and really should go through a season of winter, a bit of hibernation, a bit of us accepting that what we're doing is planting the seeds for our future business. And while we didn't see it immediately, having the faith that it's coming, that it's going to happen. I know a lot of us, in particular in the wintertime or during a slower business season, feel like it's stagnation, right? Like we stalled out, that, what is happening? We just don't have the business that we necessarily used to have. What if that was forced stillness? What if we didn't have it in us to slow down and we're being forced to during this season, both in nature, life, and in our business? I think it's really important to honor that it's okay for us to have seasons that are a little bit quieter, a little bit slower, and that we go internal. That we, like a lot of animals, a lot of things in nature, go into a slight bit of hibernation. Now, I want to make this clear. That doesn't mean we don't do anything in the winter, because it's important that we take action in the winter for the faith that the results are coming. We still have sales results in the winter, yet I believe it is a great reminder from Mother Nature that we need to embrace some stillness to prepare ourselves and our business for the spring. And I know nature, right, in winter, really what it's doing is it's preparing for restoration and renewal. It's preparing for that. What if we're doing the same thing? What if it's a season that we necessarily aren't going to see the results immediately, yet the results are coming? I have the privilege of coaching clients across the country, and this is what I know to be true. The clients that did the work still in the winter season have all expressed to me that their spring market has arrived early. I firmly believe if they weren't doing the necessary work in the winter months, even though they may not be experiencing results at the same volume or same level that they do in spring, summer, and fall markets, they still were doing what was necessary, and they are getting to enjoy this spring season of renewal and growth. Did you take advantage of the winter season to plan for a healthy spring? Were you accepting of some stillness that happens in a winter season in your business and your life? So I know for me, when we set the clocks back and winter's coming, that darkness that happens earlier, is forced stillness. I want to be home before that happens. I want to be kind of settled for the night before that happens. Not every night, because I like to go out and have dinner, meet friends, go do things. Yet in general, as it gets darker earlier, I find myself gravitating to the stillness of being at home more often. And it might be happening on an unconscious level for me, yet I know that that stillness is providing great value for me for my future season. It allows me to do some great reflection of what needs to happen to get me through that season and also to prepare for the seasons that are coming in the near future. It's about trusting seasons of less, but not doing less, doing the right activities during the stillness or the quieter times of the winter season. Stillness is not a setback. It's a strategy. I want you to think about that. So I've shared with you, and I'm going to share another story about, you know, writing the book, which will be out this fall. And I was in a long season of winter for writing the book. It's a journey. And you don't write a book in a day or a month or a week. It takes months. And then there's the whole back end part of it with the edits and the interior design and the cover design and the bios and all the stuff that goes into the book. So it seemed like a very long winter season. And what I can share with you right now is it is springtime for me in the launch of the book. And I had many times in the stillness and the darkness of that winter season of writing the book where I was tempted to stop because I wasn't seeing the beauty that was going to come from the completion of the book. And it's not really just about completing the book, it's about the impact that I know it's going to make in the world. Yet I was in a winter season for a while, a long while, during the writing of the book. And so it doesn't necessarily have to happen with the calendar. Your winter season can be unique to you. What I know to be true is if I wouldn't have held the space of belief, if I wouldn't have got quiet several times and just reflected on what I was doing and not stuck in the darkness, but looking forward to what was going to blossom in the spring with the book, I may have quit. I may have just embraced the darkness and the stillness and said, forget it, I'm going to put this away until a different season. Yet I pushed through. My hope is that you did the same thing during your winter season, and you may be experiencing one now, and just think about it as a season of preparation and restoration. That's really, really what it was. Now, spring, on the other hand, which is here, I can say, here in Santa Fe, our our spring season usually doesn't start till late April. And then we always get one last little blast of winter the first or second week of May. We get a little light snowstorm, no big deal. But our spring season arrived early here. And you can feel it. You can feel the buzz. You can feel the energy. But what I do know to be true is that with spring, spring is about activation. That's what I want you to think about. It's not about a complete overhaul. The spring season is really a season of activation, which is what I'm seeing happening all around me, from business to nature to life to the way that people are interacting with each other. There's just a whole different feeling of activation. Now, this doesn't mean that we have to have a whole new plan just because it's spring. This is what I want you to really think about. The plan you wrote and were working on during your winter season is the same plan we need to hold on to during the spring. We don't ditch it just because there's a new renewed level of energy. We actually want to revisit it because it's about bringing energy to it in a different way than maybe we were able to in the winter months or that season that we were working through in our business. We just need to re-engage it at a different level. We are not needing to start over, right? Thinking that, oh my God, it's a new season, I need a whole different plan. That's really just avoidance in disguise. Spring is to celebrate what you did in the winter months. Spring is just a moment of stepping back and watching the rewards come to life. Focus on what you did and what you need to continue doing. This is the season of revisiting, not changing. It's the season of activation. So for a lot of the clients that I coach, they get very excited because we're starting to see massive results from what we did in the winter months. In fact, those clients that chose to hunker down in the winter and do what we needed to do, and even hold the space of doing it that we weren't seeing results and hold that belief that the results would come, got to experience a very early spring in their business. And they got busy sooner than many others who are out there in the world because they've held the space of belief during the winter season. So spring is now just about activation and bringing a tremendous amount of energy to this season to match it. For me, spring naturally is just a season of great energy. Number 3 thing is avoid the temptation to overplant or overseed. Just because it's a fresh season does not mean that everything deserves your attention and that we need to embrace doing more during this season. We need to embrace doing the right more during this season. And yes, we might do more of the right more, yet we're not doing more for the sake of take advantage of this season. I got to go do these 20 other things because it's the season of renewal and energy that will actually dilute your results and can actually make the proven results diminish because you've taken your eye off of the prize. You're taking your eye off of the right thing. So just like a garden, if you overplant it, it's going to suffocate and plants can't grow or vegetables can't grow if they're overplanted. Same thing can happen in your business and your life. If you do too much, you can suffocate what was working or what was going to happen. And I don't believe anybody does that with intention, yet we can see it happen. So get intentional about where you're giving your focus and your energy. Just because you can plant something or just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Let me talk about this for a minute. We are seeing different people get different results by doing different activities. And there is a temptation because of this comparison game. There is sometimes a temptation in our lives to want to do what other people are doing to get the same results. And what we fail to acknowledge is what did they do in their winter that is allowing them to receive the results that they're receiving. Chances are it wasn't an overnight success. Chances they're achieving the results they're receiving is because they had a different winter than you did. So distracting yourself with doing a bunch of different things because you're watching it work for other people is not a great plan. Giving your energy and attention to what you did and what you know works for you is the best plan. So don't overseed your garden. You will choke it and suffocate it and actually cause harm to the work you did during your winter season in preparation. Doing the right few things or the right more things always outperforms doing more for the sake of more. I just want you to really hold the space of that because there is a temptation to do more, to get more, when the trueness in that statement is to do more of the right more and don't dilute your activities with just more. Number 4 thing, just like a garden, environment matters for your growth. Environment matters for the garden. Environment matters for plants and vegetation, everything. It really is important for you in your growth as a business person and your success in life. The environment you're in matters. So think about this. I plant, that's why farmers rotate crops, right? Because plants will use different minerals and out of the earth and deplete them. And then if we move that crop somewhere else and put something else, it takes different things from the soil and the soil has time to heal. Really, it's the same thing for us as well, is make sure that you're in the right environment. Talked about this before. Your front row, the 5 people you spend the most amount of time with, that matters because that's your environment. Your physical environment also matters. So pay attention to your physical environment. You know, for me, spring is a time of thinning out and cleaning. I've gone through my closet like 3 times and I've given away a bunch of clothes. And it's just creating the environment that when I walk into my closet, everything I have in there I love, it fits, and I would buy it again if I saw it in the store. What are you doing to create that same environment for your business? Are you weeding your garden of the weeds? So think about that, right? A garden can get choked out or suffocated by weeds. And to have a fruitful and abundant garden, we have to weed it and take the weeds out. Are you doing that in your personal space? Are you acknowledging that some people are not great for you and that they need to be removed? And that's okay. Some of those relationships don't deserve to be in your front row. They might need to be in the back row. They might need to be in the balcony. They might need to be in the parking lot. What are you doing to create the healthiest environment for you to flourish in this season of growth? You, much like a plant, need perfect conditions. And you can control the conditions or the environment that you are growing your business in. Do not ignore it. Just like you tend to a garden, tend to the environment of your business. Acknowledge who's draining you, who is uplifting you, who is your biggest cheerleader, who is your biggest naysayer, and sort that out and create an environment of growth. It makes a huge difference. I think I've shared with all of you, and you may not have heard the podcast, but I'll share with you now. When I meet somebody, environment, and we are initially in a very early stages of a friendship relationship, right? Am I going to want this person to be around, or is this just an interaction at a party and we're probably not going to connect? I can always tell if I want to further a relationship with someone if they are talking about the future. If they're talking about the past and what used to be, and oh my gosh, back in the day, I did this, and they're stuck in the past, or they're not able to look at exciting things in the future. They don't have future plans. They don't even have a vacation plan. They don't have something exciting to look forward to. They're a weed that I'm going to pull out of my garden because I only want to be around people the majority of the time that are forward thinkers and are excited and are constantly thinking about moving forward in business and in life. So part of my environment, my inner circle, I only allow into it people who are excited about their futures, have plans about their future, are constantly talking about what they're going to do next, or a great idea, or a possibility, or a project, something. Those are the people I want in my environment because their environment becomes my environment. So make sure that just like a garden, you're fertilizing, you're watering, you're making sure that the environment is conducive for growth. We need to take care of that. Number 5, I want you to think about spring is the renewal of spring is about energy, not just action. All right. So it's both. It's energy and action. So a fresh start is not always what you do. It's the energy you bring to it. I want you to think about that. It's not saying, hey, dilute things with a bunch of different activities. It's bringing energy to the things that we know work at a higher level. It's not just about taking action. How you show up is going to matter. Your energy precedes you in every single thing you do. If I'm in a crummy, energetic space, it is going to show up when I make a call to a client. It is going to show up when I make a call to a prospect. It's going to show up in my life. And so the energy that you bring is really, really important. If I take action with the wrong energy, my results are impacted. I may get results, but not the results I could. If I shift my energy and do the same activity, I will get more results. I will see a difference. You can't build a new season with exhausted energy. If you are exhausted and depleted, it is really hard to build a new season. It is really hard to find the strength and the energy to tend to the garden, to make sure that it stays in a healthy space, that environment stays healthy. Just like your business, it becomes really, really difficult. What are you doing to protect your energy? So I don't believe anything happens by chance. I believe all of it is God's greater plan, and we're exactly where we need to be when we need to be. And a friend of mine was having a birthday, and long story short, she sent me an email and said, "Hey, would you want to go to this meditation with me?" And I'm always up for a good experience. And I read about it. It was at the Four Seasons here, which is a beautiful property. Yet in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, it's at a hotel. Who's going to be doing it? And a lot of experiences, no offense, I was in the hotel industry, are good, right? But think about hotels. People stay and then they leave. You're maybe not necessarily looking to build a clientele because people are temporary, they're in and out. I will tell you, I went into this experience not attached to the outcome, just willing to go experience the meditation. Good or bad, a meditation is good. And I met a gentleman that lives here in Santa Fe that actually has a storefront, and he conducted the meditation, and it was one of the most powerful meditations I've experienced in a very long time. It was a combination of all of the great things: meditation, music, chanting, energy, breath work, everything all tied into one. And I left that meditation with a renewed energy. So much to the point that he and I connected afterward. And as we were walking out, had a great conversation and a few mutual friends in common. And we have connected since then. I went to his storefront with another friend just the other day. And we sat and we caught up and we talked about our beliefs and we talked about everything that was important to us. And he graciously did another meditation with us and did a sound bath with it. That impact on my energy has changed everything. What are you doing to protect and to increase your energy? Are you working out? Are you eating healthy? Are you meditating? Are you journaling? Are you praying? What are you doing to renew your energy? This is really, really important because a lot of us are trained and I just need to do more, do more, do more, and we're exhausted. If we focus on only doing the right more and focused on doing things with intention to increase our energy, your results are going to go through the roof. I'm figuring out a way to be in this gentleman's presence once a week. He offers a free meditation once a week. Why wouldn't I go to it? It's one of the many ways that I choose to renew my energy so I can show up as the best version of me. What are you doing? What are you doing? Because you can't build when you're exhausted. You cannot build with exhausted energy. You can't. It's going to pull you down. 6 is, the sixth thing I want to talk to you about is the real question of spring. What are you ready for? What are you ready to receive? I'm going to presuppose that you have worked through the winter season, that nobody that is listening to this podcast sat and did nothing for 90 days, that we actually did something. And the question is, what are you ready for? What is it that you're ready to receive? Do you have some ideas about your future that it may not be the right season for? That right now we need to enjoy this season and reap the rewards of what we've done, pay attention to it, weed it, create the right environment for growth, pay attention to it. But what are you ready for? Because what you're ready for is what you're going to receive. If I'm not ready and things are happening, I'm not going to see it. It's not going to have the same impact on me as if I made it abundantly clear that I'm ready to receive. What are you ready to receive? Clarity comes from recognizing what you're expecting in this upcoming season. What's actually ready to grow in your life right now? Readiness creates momentum, not pressure. So what are you ready to receive? What is aligning with you right now? Take a step back and ask yourself that really powerful question. What am I ready for? And am I doing the right activities? Am I doing the right things to protect my environment, to create the space for growth, to receive what I have planted in the winter and is now ready to bloom, and I'm ready to accept it into my life? I love the comparison of our lives to nature because I think it's really just one. And what you are doing right now can be so incredibly exciting. It is a season of renewal, rebirth, faith, growth. It really is. And even if maybe you weren't the best steward of the winter season, it's not too late. I mean, think about nature, right? There's things that are quick growing, quick acting. If you weren't the best steward of your winter, become the best steward of your spring. It's not too late. Get clear on what you want. Get clear on your right more. Get clear on your environment. Get clear on your energy. Get clear on the actions that you must take to have an abundant spring, and you will, even if you're starting a little bit later. What do they say about planting a tree? The best time to plant a tree was X amount of years ago, and the next best time is now. This is your time. Take advantage of it. Pay attention and enjoy your spring. All right, team, go enjoy. We'll see you in a week. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you must come check out the Mindset Architect Group Coaching Program. It's our monthly program where we explore the power of your mindset, help you identify what you truly want in business and life, and then help you reach those goals. Come check us out at rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. That's rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. We'll see you there.